amend the agenda for today's Board of Commissioners meeting to include an item that was discussed at yesterday's agenda, but was inadvertently left off today's agenda. The meeting will be added to approve a lease amendment with the Center for Community Resources to extend their lease at Crossroads Center for 90 days beyond their original expiration date of May 30th, 2023. All other terms and conditions of the lease shall remain the same.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes, thank you. We will now move on to approval of meeting minute number 1168. Is there a motion to approve?
Moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes, we have a great number of proclamations today under special order of business. The first will be Mental Health Awareness Month. Commissioner Sherman?
Thank you. Proclamation for mental health awareness. Whereas mental health awareness is a critical part of everyday life in all individuals, regardless of age, ethnicity, gender, socioeconomic status. And whereas the absence of lack of acceptance of mental health awareness contributes to poor health outcomes and diminishes quality of life for all residents of Washington County. Whereas it is estimated that 1 in 5 adults and 1 in 6 children and adolescents live with mental health concerns and are significantly higher risk to experience fear and shame and can prevent from seeking support. And whereas the leadership of Washington County and its citizens has the ability to impact the culture and change by making a conscious effort to regularly think about and speak openly about mental health. And whereas Mental Health Awareness Month challenges to promote understanding, acceptance of meaningful change, not only for our community today, but for a legacy for our citizens of tomorrow. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Washington County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim May 2023 to be Mental Health Awareness Month. And Washington County adopted this 18th day of May 2023 in Washington, Pennsylvania. Madam Chair, I so move.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes. 1 minute. So who's on the phone? We have feedback from you. I don't know if it's impacting the live streaming. Sorry, we have a phone up here just saying no, and someone's talking and I could hear it. I didn't know if it's impacting our being able to live stream. Today, to accept this proclamation is Mary Jo Hatfield and Scott Berry, both from Behavioral Health and Developmental Services. They're both 2 rock stars.
Good afternoon. I wanted just to take a moment or two to talk about our Mental Health Awareness Month. First of all, I'd like to thank the commissioners and leadership of Washington County, including the Human Services Director and Deputy, for all of the support that they provide to behavioral health and developmental services. I'd also like to mention an event that we have planned for this Saturday at the Washington Park Stone Pavilion. It is a color run for mental health awareness. It can also be a color walk for those who do not wish to run. We will have speakers, we will have resource tables, we'll be conducting free depression and suicide screenings for all individuals. We are funding this through a mini grant by the Pennsylvania National Association for Suicide Prevention, and obviously again with the support of all of our leadership. So I just want to encourage everyone to come out. I know it's supposed to rain tomorrow, but we're going to cross our fingers and hope that it's still a wonderful event. At this time we have 238 people registered. The flyers are on the table if you would like additional information. So again, thank you all for recognition for mental health awareness today.
Mary Jo, I've done a color run. The rain might be nice because it'll help to wash some of that off. It'll be beautiful on the course.
Not till Saturday.
Next, we have a proclamation for Older Americans Month. Commissioner Maggi.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Now, there's always been a joke as to who gets to do the older American proclamation. And Chair,
Pregnancy next.
Chair Irie Vaughn always claimed she wasn't old enough, but I think as of now, she's old enough to read this also. So I think she joined the elite group also. Okay, we have a proclamation, whereas during the month of May, we celebrate our nation's 60th anniversary of the observance of Older Americans Month with the 2023 theme of Aging Unbound. And whereas Washington County is committed to strengthening our community by connecting with and supporting older adults, their families and caregivers, and acknowledging their many valuable contributions to society. And whereas Washington County recognizes the importance of older adults having the opportunity to explore a wide array of aging experiences without being boxed in by expectations and stereotypes. And whereas the County of Washington is partnering with the Southwestern Pennsylvania Area Agency on Aging, Aging Services of Washington County, SPHS, Aging Services, Center in the Woods, and Washington Area Senior Citizen Center to enhance the lives of older Americans in our community by promoting independence, inclusion, and participation, engaging older adults through education, recreation, and service, and connecting people with opportunities to share their time, experience, and talents. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the Washington County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim May 2023 to be Older Americans Month. We urge every resident during this special time to reflect and hold dear the worth of these most precious older members of our community. Adopted this 18th day of May 2023 in Washington, Pennsylvania. Madam Chair, I move for approval.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes. And before we invite up our special guests who are going to talk a little bit about Older Americans Month, I first want to call someone out without embarrassing him that handed me a quarter today during photos for my swear jar in my office. But then I was told he owed me a few more quarters. So we're going to ask you just to behave today.
I gave you a buck last time.
The last time he just gave me $1, so. But today, we have Leslie Grenfell with the Area Agency on Aging to accept the proclamation. And Mary Lynn, you should come up too.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so pleased to see you all together and not worrying about COVID or transportation or anything. So thank you so much for being here. Okay, today I want to first thank the Washington County Board of Commissioners for their many, many years of support to the aging programs. Thank you, Commissioners. Secondly, I'd like to thank the Human Services Department, the administrator and the deputy for their support in transitioning into all that we have going on now in human services. If I could take a moment, I would like to dedicate the dedicated staff. I would like to introduce them that are here today that serve the elderly. I'd first like to start with Barbara Miller. She's the Executive Director of Washington Area Senior Center. Barb, you want to wave or stand? Secondly, I'd like to introduce Matt Tute, who is the Executive Director of Diversified Human Services. Matt. Now I would like to introduce Michelle Manning, who put all the cake and coffee and absolutely an awesome assistant director.
And she saved me a corner piece, so I want to thank her personally for that.
Okay, we have the care management supervisor. She also supervises the ombudsman program, Allison Cole. She's been very dedicated for many, many years. Allison. We have Kelly Brown here, who is the senior center supervisor down in the Mon Valley. Kelly. We have care managers that are under the direction of Allison Cole, Tammy Thompson and Melody Corbin. our senior center coordinators. We have new coordinators. We have other coordinators that have been on the job for a long time. We have Hannah Burns from the Bentleyville Senior Center. We have Summer Dutton, not related to the Yellowstone Duttons. We have Kristen Frazier, who's representing the Burgestown Center. We have one of our most experienced coordinators, Brenda Wacker from Camden. Monica Parker Farrell. She has a lot of seniority. Did Monica make it today? No. Okay. Well, Monica's been on the job for over 45 years.
Wow.
Okay. Mike Wise. Let's not forget Mike Wise. The coordinator for the McDonald Cecil Center. Thank you, Mike. And last but not least, let's not forget Larry's hometown, Amanda Cercello from the McGuffey Senior Center. Amanda. Now, I would like to introduce the Executive Director of the Southwestern Pennsylvania Area Agency on Aging. She and I have worked together for many, many years, and I think we all hold her in very high esteem. Leslie Grenfell.
Thank you, Mary Lynn. It's been a pleasure working with you, and we have been together for many, many years. And ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure for me to be here today. This is really a wonderful time where we pause to thank all of you, all of our older adults who have contributed so much to Washington County. And this is a celebration day. And so we have the Commissioner's Proclamation as our way of thanking you. This is also a time when we want to thank the commissioners as our leadership, because as Mary Lynn said, without their support, we would not have the high quality programming that we have in this county. I would like you to give them a round of applause. Maybe give them a And our advisory council and our leadership commissioners have asked every year that we acknowledge all of your contributions with just a small token of our appreciation. So if I can have the three members come up here with me today, I'd like to introduce Debbie DeStefano. Debbie is a previous member of Washington County for how many years? 42 years as an assistant director to Mary Lynn, and currently is the president of the Washington Sub-Area Advisory Council on Aging, as well as the president of the Area Agency on Aging Advisory Council. So, Debbie, thank you for being here today. Mary Jane Stewart. Mary Jane is the vice president of the Washington County Sub-Area Council and the vice president of the Area Agency on Aging Advisory Council. Mary Jane, let's have a round of applause. And last but not least, we have Rita Ritz, and Rita is a member of the board of directors of the Area Agency on Aging, a member of the Advisory Council of Washington County, of the Southwestern Pennsylvania Area Agency on Aging, and the Washington County Human Services Advisory Council. So let's give Rita a very So the council advisory leadership has selected particular gifts, if you care to give them to the commissioners, please, of businesses in Washington County that have, you'll all recognize Sarah's Candies, but there's other gifts from the local businesses in the county. So thank you, commissioners, and thank you for having us here today. We're very appreciative of your support. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, we have a proclamation for National Corrections Employee Week.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Whereas Pennsylvania's correctional system is the oldest in the nation, evolving from the establishment of Philadelphia's Walnut Street Jail in 1773 and the Eastern Penitentiary in 1829. And whereas the Pennsylvania system, as it became known, was the leading influence in the development of penology throughout the 19th century and the forerunner of modern corrections. And whereas today, Washington County continues to face difficult challenges in corrections with a pandemic, an opioid crisis, and staff shortages, our correctional officers fight the good fight every day. And whereas the secure and safe operation and management of the Washington County Correctional Facility rests in the hands of our skilled and dedicated corrections professionals. They are administrators, officers, counselors, medical professionals, educators, clerical staff, business administrators, purchasing agents, labor relations specialists, computer technicians, kitchen laundry workers, and skilled craftspeople whose efficiency and professionalism operate in a sensitive ecosphere called corrections. Whereas although each of these dedicated professionals work in different fields and specialize in specific areas, all are committed to a common goal: the secure, safe, and humane operation of our county correctional facility, where staff works to reduce crime through programs to change behavior. Now therefore be it resolved that we, the Washington County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim the week of May 7th through the 13th, 2023 as Corrections Employee Week in Washington County, and commends each employee for their tireless and outstanding performance. Every day, these dedicated professionals work diligently to ensure the safe and effective operation of our correctional facility, all in the interest of public safety. Adopted this 18th day of May, 2023 in Washington, Pennsylvania. Madam Chair, I move for approval.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes, thank you. With us to accept this proclamation today is our warden, Jeff Fuel, Deputy Warden Chris Kane, Major David Coddington, and Captain Kyrie Kenyon. Just two of you. So, Rich Mursky.
I'd like to welcome to the podium here Officer Rich Mursky. He started with us on March 6th. He's one of our newest recruits, and so he's doing a great job. And give him a round of applause. We would like a special thank you for the Board of Commissioners, the prison board, our staff, and all of the community partners. Our staff works very hard every day to operate a safe and secure, clean correctional facility for the citizens of this great county. We appreciate all your support so our folks can accomplish this public service mission. And thank you very much. We'll get back to
Next, we have a proclamation for Teen Pregnancy Prevention Month. Commissioner Sherman.
Proclamation. Whereas in 1989, the rate of teen pregnancy in Washington County for 15 to 17-year-olds was 39 in every 1,000 young women. And whereas due to the need to assist in lowering the rates of teen pregnancy, the Washington Hospital Health System Teen Outreach Program was founded in 1988 by Dr. Mary Jo Pedrosky. Whereas due to the work of the Teen Outreach Program, the 2012 rate for teen pregnancy in Washington County was 12 for every young woman ages 15 to 17, whereas 1988 to 2013 Washington Health System Teen Outreach Program is an educational process for all 14 county school districts, reaching 250,000 young people. And whereas the potential premise of students ages with parental permission with students grades 6 through 12, and parents, Dr. Mary Jo Pedrosky organizes curriculum Real Talk for Teens. Whereas Dr. Pedrosky started to volunteer young parents, and today her program continues to monitor teen parents, showing them the value of remaining in school and teaching them the good parenting skills. And whereas the Washington Health System continues to provide support for outreach missions and inspire, create, educate, advocate for, and empower people one kid at a time. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the Washington County Board of Commissioners, support the work of the Washington Health System Teen Outreach Program, hereby designates May 2023 as Teen Pregnancy Protection Months and urges all students and organizations to support the valuable work of these programs adopted this 18th day of May, 2023 in Washington, Pennsylvania. Madam Chair, I so move.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Thank you. And we have several individuals from Washington Health Systems with us here today. We have the president, Brooke Ward. We have Mary Jo Podersky, who is the founder of Teen Outreach, and also Amy Podersky Goff.
I got this.
You got this.
You've been doing this for years.
Yeah, but I've been here for a little while. Thank you. It's good to meet you.
I introduced them.
You did. That's okay. Once I went to Europe with my family and I had 1 year of French in high school and they all had French, but they all put me in front. I was able to teach and talk about French. I just want to thank the commissioners for honoring us and recognizing our work. I have been doing this quite some time. I am personally grateful to be here. The last 4 years have been difficult for me health-wise. I've had 4 surgeries, a lot of chemo, and 2 cancers. So I'm very grateful to be here. I want to share with you in that period of time, Brooke Ward, who is our CEO at the health system, has stood beside everything we've done. We could not do anything without their partnership. And my daughter, who is here, Amy Podersky Goff, has stood in my place many times over the last 4 years and made things continue. My wonderful staff, we haven't dropped one referral. We haven't lost one young person that was sent to us. We have seen every child that needed us, some of them in trouble, some of them just need support and an extra loving. But in those 4 years, my people kept things going, and I'm so grateful for that. So thank you all.
Madam Chair, if I may for a moment. Now, Mary Jo's so tired of hearing this story. My wife and I were in London. We're at the Tower of London. She looks up and she says, "That lady looks like Mary Jo Podersky." And I said, "No, it can't be." So I'm going to take a picture. Took a picture, and Mary Jo turns around and waves hi. It was Mary Jo. She was there counseling the royal family.
Because I would have done a better job. It is true. I've taught here for so long. That every place I go, I taught somebody, and my husband just goes, "Go ahead, talk to them." Thank you.
Thank you so much. The last proclamation we have for today is Emergency Medical Services Week. Mr. Maggi.
Yes, ma'am. Whereas emergency medical services is a vital public service, and whereas the members of emergency medical service teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury, and whereas emergency medical services has grown to fill a gap by providing important out-of-hospital care, including preventive maintenance, preventive medicine, follow-up care, and access to telemedicine, and whereas the emergency medical services system consists of first responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, dispatchers, firefighters, police officers, educators, administrators, pre-hospital nurses, emergency nurses, and physicians, trained members of the public, and others out of hospital medical care providers, and whereas members of emergency medical service teams, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills, and whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishments of emergency medical service providers. Now therefore be it resolved that we, the Washington County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim May 21st through the 27th, 2023 as Emergency Medical Services Week in Washington County, and call upon community to observe this week with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. Emergency medical services, where emergency care begins. A adopted this 18th day of May, 2023 in Washington, Pennsylvania. Madam Chair, I move for approval.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes. And today, to accept this proclamation, we have Daniel Galassi, Supervisor, Canonsburg Ambulance Pre-Hospital Care Services at AHN and President of the Washington County EMS Council, and David Caputo, Assistant Chief Paramedic, Peters Township Fire, Larry Pollock, Director of Ambulance and Chair Service, and Lorenzo Garino, Manager, Ambulance and Chair Service. Also, Robert Twaddle, VP of Pre-Hospital Services, Tiffany Vargo, Director of Pre-Hospital Services, Melissa Busher, Supervisor of Pre-Hospital Systems, and we thank you for all you do. Somebody's got to come up with it. You may all join me. We have to also recognize Brooke Ward with Washington Health Systems again for ambulance and chair services that they provide.
Hello. Just wanted to thank the commissioners for the proclamation acknowledging the services that pre-hospital services and emergency medical services in Washington County provide. It's a tireless job and appreciate everybody in the county that provides those services. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And before we recess for photos, I understand our Director of Aging Services, Mary Lynn Spielek, had something she wanted to mention.
I forgot a very important person in Monongahela. She's been an old friend of mine for a long time, not old, but a long-term friend. And she's searching for home-delivered meal volunteers down there, Alice.
Thank you, Alice. Thank you. We will now take a maybe not so brief recess for photos.
I gotta get to the summer, I gotta get to this weekend. See?
She went out there, spoke to the course there. There's scent work. There you go, bud.
Yep. Yeah, I used to have to be the one to go get that damn thing.
I know.
I'm barely allowed to ride.
That's where my quarter came from,
Take care of your There's another quarter.
or my swear jar. All right, I will call this meeting back to order. This is the time for public comments. Please be advised that the views and opinions expressed by the speakers during public comment are exclusively those of the speakers and do not reflect or represent those of the Washington County Board of Commissioners, and information provided has not been verified. We will start today with John Timney.
I had to make arrangements. When I talked to him there.
Good afternoon. My name is John Timney, and I've lived in Peters Township for 16 years. Formerly at Crown Castle, 22 years. I'm the executive director for the Washington County Authority. We've been contracted by the Washington County for the broadband program. The authority has 2 employees. Our business operations manager lives in North Strabane, and our fiber expert lives in New Eagle. Thank you for allowing us to talk about broadband. 2 months ago, we came and we asked for consideration for Jefferson, Canton, and Taylor's Township, targeting 400 unserved locations. You approved that. Thank you very much. Last month, we came and asked for the same thing for Hanover, North Hanover, South Hanover, and Burgestown for 700 unserved locations. You've also approved that. Thank you very much. And as you can see, we're progressing. This time, we're here for consideration for 2,200 unserved locations in South Strabane, North and West Bethlehem Townships, West Pike Run, Bellsville, and Deemsboro. Sometimes it's hard for me to even remember how many we're at, but if the Board of Commissioners approve today, this program will have either awarded, constructed, or completed 4,500 locations in Washington County for the unserved with 5 key vendors: Hickory Telephone, DQE Communications, Kinetic by Windstream, Verizon, and Comcast. The overall investment that has been in this program is $32 million, with Washington County investing approximately $16 million through the funding of the American Recovery Act and $16 million from the actual vendors themselves. Thank you very much for your support over the last year on this program, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, John. Next to speak today, we have Frank Berg.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I got a question first. What is the status of the court technology project? It's about a year behind, isn't it? Transportation is an absolute joke. The doctor's appointments on time. The doctors are still furious. The doctors are telling patients to transportation authorities there.
That last one,
The patient should have to be paying for transportation. So that, I know it's not a county issue, we've been dealing with that for years, but I'm calling for the executive director to be terminated.
Thank you, Frank. Next, we have Attorney Hickson Law.
Good afternoon. My name is Adjournment. I am an employee of Washington County. I have worked for Children and Youth Services for the past 12 years. So I just wanted to come and bring it to everyone's attention at this point in time that our agency and the caseworkers, I'm going to speak for the caseworkers ourselves, we're committed to the well-being and safety of children. It's issues that have been brought before us that we've been struggling with is the issue of bullying and intimidation tactics employed by our dependency. Our mission is to protect vulnerable children and ensure their best interests are met. And we firmly believe that a collaborative respect between CYS and our dependency court system is vital to achieving this. We have been subject to bullying and intimidation tactics towards every caseworker when they're in court. It diminishes the morale with the staff. It inhibits us from being able to work with the clients because the clients are present when these things occur. And it's really hard sometimes for us to effectively advocate for the children that we serve. Over the years, we have the support of the commissioners, and we are extremely thankful for that. And we just call upon the community to support the CYS staff and recognize the important work we do. We're going to continue to be committed to serving the children and families of Washington County, and we just hope that this brings some light to the fact of the struggles that we're having in our court systems.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. York. Just so you know, the commissioners have discussed this. We've been made aware of what's going on, and we stand behind you 100%. Thank you. We will now move on to old business with our solicitor, Janet Graham.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Purchasing respectfully requests the Commissioners award the broadband services proposal for a unified turnkey solution providing broadband connectivity for 695 residential and commercial targets in the South Strabane Township and Amarillo Township area to Verizon Pennsylvania and Verizon North, collectively Verizon, for 87 miles of fiber at a total cost of $667,410, of which Washington County will pay $2,354,477. The remainder will be supplemented by Verizon. Washington County's costs will be funded from the American Rescue Plan Act Fund.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Purchasing respectfully requests the Commissioners award the broadband services proposal for a unified turnkey solution providing broadband connectivity for 1,475 residential and commercial targets in the Bentworth area and areas around National Pike, including North and West Bethlehem Township, Somerset Township, West Pike Run, Bellsville, and Deemston Borough to Comcast Cable Communications for 126 miles of fiber at a total cost of $9,089,923, of which Washington County will pay $4,369,944. The remainder will be supplemented by Comcast. Washington County's costs will be funded from the American Rescue Plan Act Fund.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Purchasing on behalf of Building and Grounds respectfully request the Commissioners extend the vehicle repairs and maintenance bid per section on a time and material basis to the following vendors: Powell's Auto Body Inc. at the rates listed and Fox Ford Inc. at the rates listed. If approved, this contract extension will be effective May 1, 2023 through May 31, 2024, with no further options to renew. All other terms and conditions of the original agreements remain unchanged.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Purchasing respectfully requests the Commissioners extend the current contract for the furnishing, delivery, and installation or repair of flooring for all Washington County facilities with Dawn Spears Fashion Floors, Washington, Pennsylvania. If approved, this contract extension will be effective June 1, 2023 through May 31, 2024, with the option to extend for 2 additional one-year periods upon mutual agreement. All other terms and conditions of the current agreement remain in full force.
Moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Purchasing on behalf of Building and Grounds respectfully request the Commissioners approve the removal and installation of a new sprinkler system in the Caldwell Building by Scalise Industries Corporation, our contractor of record, in the amount of $46,813. The cost will be paid with capital funds.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Purchasing on behalf of Building and Grounds respectfully request the Board of County Commissioners approve the following change orders with Snow Mile Group, Inc. of Canonsburg, PA. Change order number 6 in the amount of $12,363. Change order number 7 in the amount of $11,723. Change orders number 6 and number 7 will change the amount of their current contract from $2,659,586.65 to $2,683,672.65. This change order has been reviewed and recommended by Justin Welsh, Building and Grounds, and Pat Graham, the courts, and the Gracie Corporation.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please. Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Purchasing as per section 1805 of the county code governing the sale or disposition of personal property of the county, respectfully request the commissioners authorize the resolution for the donation of used furniture from aging services to the Washington County Redevelopment Authority, who has formally requested the donation, completed the application for donation, and they have met all of the required criteria.
Second.
Roll call, please. Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
It's okay. Thank you, Solicitor Grimm. Now, new business. Cindy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Chief Clerk, respectfully request the Commissioners approve the appointments of Robin Thompson and Sharice Bowman to the CYS Advisory Board, the reappointments of Leslie Grenfell and Nick Rollins to the Transportation Authority Board, and extend the terms of Rich Schreiber and Bob Layk's terms through May 31st of 2029 on the Transportation Authority Board.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please. Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Chief Clerk, on behalf of the Coroner, respectfully request the Commissioners approve and ratify the cost of training, mileage, and meals for 5 deputy coroners, Rodney Bush, Billy Jack McKay, Aubrey Honorado, Timothy Wargo II, and Wendy Wenzel, to attend the Cambria County Coroner's Continuing Education Seminar in Johnstown, Pennsylvania on May 5th, 2023. The registration fee is $75 per person, and all costs will be paid from their operating budget.
Moved. Second.
Roll call, please. Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Planning, respectfully request the Commissioners approve a change order in the amount of $64,500 to Blair Construction for the Draft Horse Barn project. Additional posts require repair, framework repair, and some additional work to tie the 2 new roof sections together as needed. Costs will be paid with LSA grant, fair gas lease, and greenways funds. Revised construction cost is $250,500.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please. Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Planning respectfully request the Commissioners approve a request for authorization to bid for guide rail installation at various locations in parks and bridges as needed.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please. Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Planning respectfully request the Commissioners authorize the advertising for RFPs from qualified engineering and architectural firms to complete the final bid package for the rehabilitation of National Hike Trail Number 4 in Buffalo Township. Engineering will be paid with Act 13 Greenways funds to meet the requirements for the PennDOT grant to complete construction in 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please. Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Planning respectfully request the Commissioners authorize the advertising for RFPs from qualified engineering and architectural firms for the development of construction drawings and specifications to complete renovations to the Washington County Agricultural Fair Number 1.
Is there?
Engineering will be paid with fair gas lease funds to utilize an LSA grant for construction in 2024.
So moved.
Roll call, please. Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Planning respectfully request the Commissioners authorize the advertising for RFPs from qualified engineering and planning firms to complete updates to the master plans for the county parks.
Roll call, please. Mr. Sherman?
Maybe going around
the block to pull
in here.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Finance, on behalf of the courts, respectfully request the Commissioners approve an agreement with Corey Allen Woods Esquire and William H. Nestrick III Esquire for the provision of post-conviction relief legal representation. The agreement is in the amount of $3,166.66 per month per attorney and will be for the period of May 18th, 2023 through the end of the current calendar year, and shall continue thereafter on an annual basis.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Finance, on behalf of Adult Probation, respectfully request the Commissioners approve a renewal grant agreement with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, PCCD, for the Intermediate Punishment Treatment Program. The grant is in the amount of $300,772 and will be for the period of July 1st, 2023 through June 30th of 2024.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Finance, on behalf of the District Attorney, respectfully request the Commissioners approve a grant project modification request with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, PCCD, for the Quantitative Analysis Program. The modification request reallocates $70,043 of unused funds from the consultant line item to the equipment line item for the purchase of a mass spectrometer. Spectrometer, sorry, for the purpose of a mass spectrometer.
I learned that on NCIS.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Finance, respectfully request the Commissioners approve renewals of the county's property and casualty insurance for 2023-2024 with PCOR for general liability, auto liability, public officials liability, privacy and security liabilities, property, equipment, and crime coverages. The annual premium is $773,881 and will be for the period of June 1st, 2023 through June 1st, 2024. This approval is contingent upon receipt and review of a proposal from Travelers Insurance for comparable coverages. In the event the proposal from Travelers is less costly and is recommended and deemed comparable after consultation with the county's broker of record and county solicitor, Finance respectfully requests approval to engage Travelers Insurance for all property and casualty insurance coverages to be effective June 1st, 2023.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes. And the next item is what we've amended the agenda to include.
Finance respectfully requests the Commissioners approve a lease amendment with the Center for Community Resources to extend their lease at the Crossroads Center building for 90 days beyond their original expiration date of May 30th of 2023. All other terms and conditions of the lease shall remain the same.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Human Resources respectfully request the Commissioners approve a grant application with PCOR for the 2022-2023 Loss Prevention Grant Program. The grant application is in the amount of $30,000 and will be used for security cameras to provide surveillance throughout the courthouse square, and crossroads buildings to provide and enhance the safety and security of the public and county employees.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman? Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Children and Youth Services respectfully request the Commissioners approve a provider agreement with Kids Peace National Center, Inc. for placement services for the period of May 1st, 2023 through June 30th of 2023. The contract authorization amount is $50,000 and no county funds are required.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Children and Youth Services respectfully request the Commissioners approve a provider agreement with Donnelly, Bowling and Associates for the period of May 20th, 2023 through May 19th of 2024. The contract authorization amount is $187,250 and no county funds are required.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Children and Youth Services respectfully request the Commissioners approve the previously approved provider agreements in the amount of $481,540 for the period of May 1st, 2023 through June 30th of 2024, and no county funds are required.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Children and Youth Services respectfully request the Commissioners approve the previously approved provider agreements in the amount of $344,275 for the period of April 1st, 2023 through June 30th of 2024, and no additional county funds are required.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please. Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Children and Youth Services respectfully request the Commissioners approve a purchase of service agreement with Avanco International, Inc. for CWIS. This agreement will run from July 1st, 2023 through June 30th of 2024 for a sum not to exceed $7,896.03, and no additional county funds are required.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please. Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi and
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Children and Youth Services respectfully request the Commissioners approve a purchase of service agreement with Avanco International, Inc. to provide consulting and ad hoc IT services and support. This agreement will run from July 1st, 2023 through June 30th of 2024 for a sum not to exceed $45,000, and no additional county funds are required.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please. Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Children and Youth Services respectfully request the Commissioners approve a purchase of service agreement with Avanco International, Inc. for the maintenance and security of CAPS. This agreement will run from July 1st, 2023 through June 30th of 2024 for a sum not to exceed $48,110.31, and no additional county funds are required.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please. Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Children and Youth Services respectfully request the Commissioners approve an agreement with Avanco International, Inc. to protect and provide for the security of protected health information pursuant to HIPAA. The agreement is for the period of July 1st, 2023 through June 30th of 2024, and no county funds are required.
So moved.
Roll call, please. Mr. Sherman? Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Children and Youth Services respectfully request the Commissioners approve a provider agreement addendum with People Are Us for the period of July 1st, 2022 through June 30th of 2023. The contract authorization amount will be increased to $200,000, and no additional county funds are required.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please. Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Behavioral Health and Developmental Services respectfully request the Commissioners approve the previously approved provider agreements in the amount of $3,300 for the period of May 1st, 2023 through June 30th of 2023, and no additional county funds are required.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please. Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Behavioral Health and Developmental Services respectfully request the Commissioners approve a provider agreement with Aging Services of Washington County for Ombudsman Services for the period of July 1st, 2023 through June 30th of 2024. The contract authorization amount is $35,000, and no additional county funds are required.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please. Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Purchasing on behalf of the Redevelopment Authority respectfully request the Commissioners authorize the advertising for RFPs for the rehabilitation of runway 9-27. This project will include the pavement rehabilitation of approximately 2,600 feet of runway 9-27 at the Washington County Airport. The remainder of runway 9-27 will be rehabilitated with a future phase of the project.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please. Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Purchasing respectfully request the Commissioners authorize the advertising for RFPs for the countywide envelopes, stationery, NCR forms, printing services, and printed forms bid.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Purchasing, respectfully request the Commissioners authorize the advertising for RFPs for the courthouse maintenance re-roofing project.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Purchasing, on behalf of the Court Administrator, respectfully request the Commissioners authorize the advertising for RFPs for security services for the MDJ court offices.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Purchasing, on behalf of the Sheriff's Department, respectfully request the Commissioners approve an agreement with Thomson Reuters for the provision of CLEAR for Law Enforcement Plus subscriptions to approximately 45 users in the Sheriff's Department. The monthly subscription fee is $244.80 for the first year, $257.04 for the second year, and $269.89 for the final year. This agreement will be valid from the date of approval with a 36-month term.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
And Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Purchasing, respectfully request the Commissioners approve an amendment to our Crossroads lease with NCS Pearson, Inc. The amendment would extend the term of the lease for 5 years, concluding on November 30th, 2028. Rent for the first year will be $62,696.46, with an annual 2% rate increase throughout the term. There will be one remaining option to extend for 3 years.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Purchasing, on behalf of the correctional facility, respectfully request the Commissioners approve an agreement with the National Institute for Jail Operations for the purpose of accessing a variety of online jail training resources for 90 user licenses at the cost of $8,910 and $2,500 for the Academy of Basic Corrections for 20 recruits. This agreement will be effective June 1st, 2023, with an automatic renewal unless a 30-day prior expiration notice is provided. The cost will be charged to their operating budget. The agreement for the correctional facility is contingent upon prison board approval.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Purchasing, on behalf of Information Technology, respectfully request the Commissioners approve a renewal agreement with Superion in the amount of $67,575.82 for software support and maintenance for the entire financial system, including the fund accounting system. This agreement will be effective June 1st, 2023 through May 31st of 2024, and the total amount will be charged to their operating budget.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Purchasing, on behalf of Public Safety, respectfully request the Commissioners approve an agreement with Hanover Township for the purpose of storing public safety equipment and a radio tower at their facility and property located in Hanover Township. The total cost is $1 per year, is due on the 1st of January of each year, and will be paid from their operating budget. This agreement will be effective date of agreement and shall continue from year to year for a period of 99 years.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Purchasing, respectfully request the Commissioners enter into a 5-year lease agreement with Pathways of Southwestern Pennsylvania, Inc., located in the Crossroads Center building at a cost of $13,232.82 per month, with an annual 2% rate increase for their current office space. This agreement will be effective August 28, 2023 through August 27 of 2028.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Purchasing, on behalf of the correctional facility, respectfully request the Commissioners approve an addendum to the current agreement for inmate telephone services with ICS Solutions to add additional equipment and features, replace all existing tablets with new Bridge 8M tablets and new charging stations. The remote video visitation service fee will be reduced to $6.50 per session for up to 30 minutes. This agreement shall remain in effect through December 31st of 2028, with optional renewals thereafter, with all terms remaining in full force. The addendum for the correctional facility is contingent upon prison board approval.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Purchasing on behalf of the correctional facility. Respectfully request the Commissioners approve an agreement with Text Behind Inc. for inmate mail management services at a total cost of $990 per month. This agreement shall remain in effect for a period of 3 years from date of execution with optional renewals thereafter. The total amount will be funded from the Inmate Welfare Fund. The addendum for the correctional facility is contingent upon prison board approval.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Purchasing on behalf of Building and Grounds. Respectfully request the Commissioners approve the purchase of a used 30 to 33-foot Genie Boom lift from United Rentals. The requested purchase would be made via PA State CoStars and therefore does not require bidding. The total cost of the purchase is $39,150 and will be funded from the capital budget.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
Purchasing on behalf of the Court Administrator. Respectfully request the Commissioners approve the purchase of 1 witness chair for the witness box, 6 council chairs, and 2 council tables for the courtroom from Jasper Seating Company. The total cost is $22,508 and will be funded from Act 13 funds. Additionally, purchasing respectfully requests the Commissioners approve the corrected purchase amount as presented at the April 20th, 2023 public meeting for office furniture from Jasper Seating Company. The total corrected cost of the furnishings is $79,517. The requested purchase would be made via PA state contract and therefore does not require bidding.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
The Redevelopment Authority respectfully requests the Commissioners adopt a resolution to approve the Washington County Fiscal Year 2023 Annual Action Plan. The plan serves as a funding application that is submitted to HUD for 3 formula grant programs, including the CDBG program, the HOME program, and the ESG program.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes.
The Redevelopment Authority respectfully requests the Commissioners adopt a resolution approving the proposed action plan amendments and revisions to the CDBG program.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Cindy. That was a long one. Now under announcements.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Chair. An executive session was held at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, May 17th, 2023, following the agenda meeting to discuss personnel and litigation. The regularly scheduled salary board meeting will be immediately following today's meeting. The retirement board meeting has been canceled. All county offices will be closed on Monday, May 29th, 2023, in observance of Memorial Day.
Thank you. Solicitor Grimm.
Thank you. As solicitor, I respect to request the Board of Commissioners approve tax refunds in the amount of $9,413.15.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn?
Yes. Okay, thank you all. There being no further business to be brought before this board, this meeting stands adjourned. Thank you, Dylan.
Annie, what's up here?